So morning, everyone. It's lovely to have those live, and for those who are listening later, welcome. Nats, you've just hopped on, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. And today, just to let you know, might be slightly shorter, and also there may be a few home noises around because it is holidays and we've got the family here, and we're going to go and watch our son William's hockey match. He's playing an interprovincial tournament up at my class, and so we're leaving sort of shortly after 7:30. So, but I still want to touch base with everyone this morning. So just excuse if there are some home noises and things. It's also part of the meditation. So if it's lovely to have you here, if you'd like to check in and write a few words, either just hello or just a few words of how you might be finding yourself this morning in the chat, please feel free to. It's just always lovely to have your connections. And Friday, the 6th of July for us in South Africa is the new moon. And it's the new moon in Cancer. And new moon's always a time to plant new seeds, new ideas, to plant physically. Biodynamic farmers plant at new moon. And for us, emotionally, to plant. This Cancer full moon is, according to Michelle McLuhan, who's a wonderful South African astrologer that I listen to her videos as often as I can. And she says it's a very fertile and feminine full moon, which really has a lovely ring to it. She goes into it in her latest video, which I encourage you, if you are interested in this, to listen to. But both the sun and moon are in alignment with Cancer in the sign of Cancer. And actually this morning I went out early and the moon was hanging very low, and it was a lovely slither of moon. It was beautiful, and you could actually see the outline of the rest of the moon. And Jupiter was very bright next to it, and I put up my little Skyview app, that Skyview Light app, and I could see that the moon was actually sitting in Cancer. So Cancer rules the home, family, community. It's a deep soul emotional connection. And so she says at this time there'll be amplified connection, maybe even a sense of wanting to come home, a little bit like a crab. Yeah, and she mentioned that in perfect alignment with Sirius. Like a crab that's under a rock and then scuttles out to get something and scuttles back under its rock, scuttles back to the safety of home. But it's very much around caring, self-care, heart opening, and some things from the past can be brought up. And she talks about giving from your saucer, not from your cup, because when you give from your cup, you can empty it quite quickly. Whereas when we give from our saucer, we're giving from the overflow of our cup, as opposed to actually from our cup. And so we have to have enough resources within us, and have given ourselves enough self-care to be able to give from our saucer. So this new moon is all about opening to healing. It's a very healing moon, connection, self-care, and can be like a reset point for us. My phone this week was so glitchy. It just was almost all the apps, including WhatsApp and Messenger and phone, it just wasn't working. I'd get into the app and it just would like be hanging. Couldn't even switch the phone off. Eventually, it sort of, because I think I pressed the reset button so many times, it sort of spontaneously went to that screen on switching off, and I managed to switch it off and left it off for a while. And since then, I've switched it back on, and it's working perfectly. And this is a little bit like a reset point for us, like switching off our phone or computer and then restarting it. And she also talked about opening your heart and life to miracles, and reflecting on whether miracles have actually happened in our lives already. And when we actually pause and reflect, there are those synchronicities, the unexpected turn of events, the unexpected conversations or meetings of someone, or something that facilitated an experience or where we are today. And just to remind ourselves that miracles really do happen, and being open to miracles. And she took a card from the Divine Feminine card deck, which I also have here. And that card sort of reiterated this. That's it. And the card mantra sort of said, I'm ready to heal. I'm ready for the miracles meant for me. And I just thought that was such a beautiful mantra to share with you all. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready for the miracles meant for me. And asking for the highest possible good to be showered down on us, which I also thought it was beautiful. The highest possible good to be showered down on us. And to ask this and then to release it, not to keep going back and going back and going back into it all. And I just thought that that fitted in so beautifully with this prayer that my friend Candace sent me, because I'm going to be doing a talk at a garden club in August and also some Women's Day talks. And actually, seems like all the themes are realigning. It's all around self-care, it's all around garden, nature, that sort of thing. And so when I told Candace this, she sent me this poem, or this prayer, should I say. And I'm going to read it for us now as we settle into our meditation. So I encourage you actually to keep your eyes open, because we're going to be tapping into our senses in this mindful moment, starting with our sense of sight. That's how we'll start our meditation. And so just as I'm reading this, just to let your gaze drop on something, or just to take in the sights around you. Prayer for Mondays. Dear God, another week has begun, and while to the untrained eye I might seem I might seem brave as I shuffle the calendar and grow 5 arms and juggle, you know better. My heart trembles. Will this be another week that chews me up and spits me out by 5 o'clock on Friday? I don't pray for relief. I don't pray for escape. I don't pray for meals to magically arrive, hot, nutritious, and eaten without complaint by all. I pray for the discipline and desire to stay in your healing, calming, stilling presence, to help me stay here in the garden. When I'm in traffic, battling for lane changes, 10 minutes behind schedule, help me to stay here in the garden. When I'm on the phone with a teacher worried about a child's future and afraid, help me to stay here in the garden. When I'm standing over a hot stove, pot bubbling, dog barking, children begging for snacks to sabotage their appetites, help me to stay here in the garden. When I'm tempted to leave for the greener pastures of control, anger, fear, resentment, and overwhelm, take my hand and lead me back to the garden with you. Love me. And so we start in this moment, mindful moment, with our eyes open, taking in the colors, the shapes, the lights around us, slowing down and actually seeing what is around us, taking ourselves back to the garden through our senses. Looking in the distance and then closer at the fall of the light, noticing shapes, textures, not with a feeling of judgment, but of just noticing, open awareness. And then when you're ready, gently dropping your gaze and moving to a sense of hearing, listening to sounds far away, closer sounds, not labeling the sounds, just letting them land on your ears, on your body, just sensing them with open awareness. Not labeling them as good or bad or nice, pleasant or unpleasant, expected or unexpected, just noticing. And then settling into our sense of touch, noticing points of contact of our body with the chair or cushion that holds us. Just following points of contact, pressure. Bringing awareness to where our clothes brush up against our skin. And where our feet anchor on the earth beneath us. Just spending time and lingering, sensing into how it feels to be in your body this morning. Perhaps even rubbing your thumbs over the tips of your fingers and noticing that as if you've never really paid attention before, noticing how it feels. Just sensing into touch. And then gently shifting your attention to your nostrils, noticing where the air brushes against them. And then noticing too if there are any smells, perhaps scent of coffee or tea, smell of the sea if you're close to the ocean, perhaps of a diffuser or oils. Just noticing if there are any smells around you or just the play of the air in your nose. Then gently dropping down into your mouth space and tapping into your sense of taste. Notice if there are any tastes again from an early morning drink. Just how you find your mouth this morning, your tongue, the back of your teeth, your palate. Paying curious attention. And finally dropping into your heart space and settling there for a little while. Noticing the expansion and contraction. And perhaps inviting a feeling of gratitude and heart expansion for these senses and this body that we've just explored. And if your thoughts start to drift, just bringing them back to your heart space, back to this feeling of gratitude, back to this feeling of heart coherence and heart opening. Bringing yourself back to the garden. Knowing that this garden is always here for us. And a way back to just through our senses. Moving back into this heart space. Just sensing and settling here. Perhaps inviting an intention for your day into your heart space. If you feel called to include the mantra, I'm ready to heal. I'm ready for the miracles meant for me. And asking for the highest possible good to be showered down on us. Perhaps you want to anchor this by resting your hands on your heart space. And then taking a few more breaths. Just allowing yourself to settle back to the room. When you're ready, maybe gently moving into your body, your shoulders, your fingers, your toes. And when you're ready, just opening your eyes. Thank you all. It's lovely to have you. Please feel free to unmute and comment or say any experiences, any thoughts, anything that touched you. Otherwise, when you're ready, leave and move on with your day. Next week, we're not going to have a mindful moment because we're actually going to be away. And I don't know about our reception or anything, but we'll be back the following week. So I will put that on the chat. But thank you. Thank you, Hilda. It's always lovely to have you. Thanks, Mans. Thanks, Ellen. Yeah, it is a lovely prayer. I think so too. So thank you, everyone. Wish you a blessed day. I'm going to go. Yes, I'm ready to heal too. Thank you, Nat. Thank you. Yeah, they've got a big game this morning. Thanks, Gail. Enjoy. Hope it's beautiful. I think Bruce's there've been lovely waves in St. Francis. So I'm sorry we're not there, but enjoy. Love to you all.